Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Let me see if I can get my chats pulled up right here. Make sure I got the volume down on this. Oh, they're gonna make me watch an ad. Eric and Barbara Fleming. Larry Alexander, how are you today? You ain't killed no deer yet today? You've usually killed a deer every day. I ain't even been to the woods. You know, our gun season opens tomorrow. And I don't even know if I'm gonna go. It's done got hot again. I mean, I've tried to walk around, and I went a little while this afternoon and sat in my stand back here, and it's so blooming hot. I just can't get excited about it. I skinned a fox the other day. I was at the funeral home, and a buddy of mine called. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm holding the door of the funeral." He said, "What?" And I said, "Well, I'm at a funeral." He said, "Well, I got a fox." I said, "Well, just take it to the house and throw it in the back of the truck." And y'all, I was bad worried, and the hair may slip. Yet you never really know till you start tanning it, and then it'll come out, and like all of it won't come out. It'll come out in little patches here, there, and yonder. And it's because it's so hot, I couldn't skin it right then. And that is a curse of me. And I've had several people ask me, "Are you going to trap this year?" I don't know. And it's because right now, every time I wind up catching something, I can't skin it right then. And that is a problem here. Now, when it gets cold, it ain't so much of a problem. But it won't get cold here till Christmas. So I have not put any traps out. And there is a passel of coyotes that's been back here. And I have went a couple of times with my AR-15 and was going to go back there and sit and see if I could shine them and shoot them, but I couldn't. Come here, son. Somebody pushed the door. Come here. Come here. He back out of the room. But anyway, I've heard them back there a few times, and I went back there with a light, my AR, and I could never see them. So I need to set up with a predator call and see if I can get a shot at them sometime, but I could trap them. If I shoot them that night, I could come home and skin them and be over with. But if I go find them the next morning and I'm needing to get started doing 10 other things, it's a problem. But I did skin it. I did not have no huge amount of flies like I did with the bobcat. So maybe it's all right. So anyway, JL327, Kevin Wilson, good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Dante, Mike Reed, how are you, Mike, my old buddy? My day has been fairly well. I got my post, my beam across the top of my post. I cut all three of my posts that I had up off. Got that beam set up there, and I had to do all that notches, so I got that done today, and then I made pottery for a while. So tomorrow, I'm going to try to dig the holes, set my other four beams. Depending on what happens, I may get the top pole set. I'm wanting to get this project knocked out. But so far, so good. But it's been hot. It's supposed to turn cold next week. And God, I wish I had my firewood all stacked up under this thing. But I'm a long ways from that. Larry, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. You see these bullets right here? We're going to lube some of these up. I've got a cereal bowl down there full of them. I molded them. And I was too stupid initially to realize that I didn't need a patch for them. I don't know a lot about muzzleloaders. I know a lot about guns and shooting, contrary to popular belief. But I've got a bunch of these, and me and Uncle Sasquatch, and he'll be on here in a minute, and there he is. He's on here now. We've been discussing back and forth that twist rate. And I do not know exactly. I pulled up some stuff today while I was sitting in the deer stand on my phone. And it's either a 1 in 48 or a 1 in 52. twist rate. I'm going to actually check it and see what I think it is. I can take my ramrod. I think it'll twist because it's affixed to the brush and the handles pivots. And I can put that brush on there and tell how much it turns. And I can mark it and make it turn a half around and then double that and get close to my twist rate. But I think that rifle is spinning them round balls too fast to stabilize, and they throwing curve balls. And I'm sure them lead balls I'm shooting are not perfectly smooth. If I polished them, they would do better, but I just don't. I don't think that thing's gonna shoot round ball. Not good. Not to what I want a gun to do, but now not to worry. We got the 30-30 down, and that's what I got out. I'm gonna hunt with for right now, and I'm going to. I have got my 45-70 Buffalo Classic. It is loaded with black powder. 45 grains, 45 caliber bullets, got 70 grains of black powder under it, and I'm probably going to hunt with that some. I have killed, my biggest deer I killed with that rifle, so. On the end of the gun and the logo is, there's a feather hanging on one end and a trap hanging on the other end, and I don't know which one is which. But speaking of the bullet, I was reading comments. I think if I lube these up, this is going to be my best chance. If this don't work, I do have the sabots. I don't like them. I could shoot them, but I probably just put the gun on the wall, because if I can't shoot past the round ball through it, or these, now I can make these, because y'all, I'm not trying to do living history. I'm trying to do like I can make my own bullets and shoot them as the whole deal. The reason, and reloading, like for the 45-70, even with black powder, that would be the next closest thing. I could cast my own bullets for it. We've got everything to reload every gun we got. But you can just about go buy bullets for what it costs to reload now. Used to, it was cheaper to reload. That's not the case anymore. So if I can't shoot these maxi balls, and I got to go to them plastic sabot bullets, I'm probably going to hang it on the wall and be done with it. And I'll build me a 54 smoothbore or something. I don't know. Linwood Vowel, how's it going? But my whole deal with the black powder is I can make black powder, I can make my own bullets, I'm self-sufficient. If it robs me of this being self-sufficient part, I don't care anything about it. I'll tote the 30-30 and hunt. So I kind of, I don't know, I got to figure out what it exactly is. I think it's going to be the twist rate in the gun. Come here, boy. Come here. Brody keeps walking through. He don't come here and say hey to these folks. Boy, he's hard-headed, y'all. Thanksgiving menu. You know, I don't know. A turkey is high as eagle feathers now, y'all. I mean, they out of sight. $50-something nearly for a turkey. And I usually cook a turkey every year, which we have had events every year that I don't hardly ever cook. My dad usually cook. So here's what I'm thinking. I've never cooked a brisket before, and I've got 2 of them. Matter of fact, I may have 3. From where we bought these steers that we processed. Come over here. Come around over here and talk. Come here. Come here. He's going to jump on the bed. Come over here and say hey to these folks. I done told them you was in here. You got to get over here where they can see you. They can't see you jumping on that bed.
Hey.
There he is, y'all. What is on your shirt? It says New York.
New York.
New York City.
Yeah.
Get a rope. I remember that Pace Picani commercial. He's been in his nanas today, this afternoon. You been showing out today?
No, I've been bad.
You been bad? Did you get a whooping today?
Nope.
No? Oh, they no good. They don't know how to keep a boy straight. Don't start that. Well, anyway, that little fella is something else. So back to the menu. I'm thinking about smoking a brisket just because I got some and I hadn't never done it before. And a brisket is a challenge. I got the general idea. Hey, you going to have to be quiet, son. I got the general idea of how to do it, but I've never been successful doing it. I mean, I cooked one time, but it was like falling all to pieces. I cooked it to nothing, and I didn't cook it that long. I just kept it wrapped up. So there's an art to knowing how long to leave it unwrapped and then when to wrap it and all that. And I know I've been told by multiple people that are good at it how to do it. So somebody telling you how to do something and you knowing all the information and then making it happen is a whole different deal. Brody, Michelle, you're going to brisket sounds good. Mark, rural prepper, how are you? Tyler, Marty, Jimmy Sullivan, how are you? Stephen, or is that Steven? I butcher names good. I'm good at butchering names. Fish, crappie, Louisiana. Now, I'm going to tell you, Tyler, I am all about some crappie and frying fish. I'm going to tell you what I'd like to do. And I have got some wild pig in the freezer. I have got some deer shoulders in the freezer. So it depends on who's coming, what's going on. I may throw some of that on the smoker and cook it instead of the brisket. I don't know. We're going to see. I don't know who I'm going to cook for. We really hadn't even made plans here yet. I am not a plan maker. I fly by the seat of my britches. That's why I never can let y'all know that I'm going to be live until about dinner Friday, because then I know what Friday night looks like. And y'all, ain't so much goes on around here, not just here at the house, but with the church and with the community and everything going on, and then with the business. And sometimes I wind up on the road delivering, and it's hard for us to plan anything. And I really ain't a fan of plans, so I really like when things just kind of come together. And that's usually the best times. Martin Meltzer. Rural Prepper, I'm with you there. And I've got several books on cooking and grilling. I've got the information from there. My uncle is good at cooking them. I've got some cousins that are good cooks. Scotty Chun is a championship cook. Where you see me with the picking and grilling sauce, a lot of times that seasoning, he's local right here. Heck of a guitar, banjo. Well, I don't know if he plays banjo. Guitar, upright bass, blow a harmonica, play all kind of stuff. And but he's a championship cooker. I mean, they go to these competitions, and I think they won the Memphis Blues and Barbecue or something a couple years ago, but they've got that picking and grilling, and he's told me how to do it. So, I mean, it's not a lack of somebody hadn't told me what to do. Doing it is another thing. That's like primitive fire. I've seen people, I watched 2 or 3 videos on that primitive fire. I know how to do it. No, you don't either. If you ain't never done it, you ain't got a clue. I don't care how many Dave Canterbury videos you've watched. It's a skill that you got to practice and learn. And that's sort of how smoking a brisket is. Mike, we'll be saying a prayer for your brother. I seen Larry asking about him. Y'all say a prayer for Mike Reed's brother. I don't know the details of what's going on, but I did notice that. Jeff, Julie, and I've never been to Oklahoma. Missouri is as far as I have been. Missouri and Arkansas and Texas. I have been up through the bottom parts of Illinois and Indiana. But no, that's about as far away from Mississippi as I have been. I did get into Kentucky, North Carolina. I have never been to Virginia. I had plans to go to Virginia. Jenny, we usually have a place at this local grocery store usually gives away a turkey every year. If you buy like $100 and something worth of groceries, well, at Thanksgiving, you're going to go buy $100 worth of stuff. You can about tote that out in 2 sacks now. And they would give one away, so I don't know. He's got cancer. Mike Guerin, good to see you. Mike is up in Oklahoma with you, Jeff. I'd love to come to Oklahoma. I know people in Oklahoma, not just out of YouTube. People that used to live here have moved up there, we know, and then I did know some people in Ponca City that was up there working that are from here. They went up there working oil refinery shutdown work and stuff, so. And I've got some family, I don't know if they still there working or if they're down in Texas right now working, but I've got people that I know all out there. And then I don't know how many people from this channel that reach out to me that's up there. I know Mike is. Deborah Brody come through, made a pass through, and then that was about it. He was jumping on the bed and really distracted me. I had to tell his mama to take him in yonder with her. He's wound up about tighter than an 8-day clock. Time to raise some turkey. Yeah, if I could deal with turkeys, I'd raise some. But it's like these ducks. Y'all, I got some ducks out there, and I don't like raising ducks. Them's Lizzie's ducks. I don't like ducks. Oh, man. Boom, done. What'd I miss? You ain't missed nothing yet. We talked about that video where we shot them bullets is all. We come up with a plan that we're gonna try these in it. You can see it there. It's them. So I'm gonna lube these up, and sometime tomorrow I'm gonna go down there and shoot 3 or 4, and I'm gonna shoot them on my pillow that everybody likes so much. That pillow has become my favorite thing to shoot on now, all of a sudden. Kyle is late and leaving early, but he is here. Roscoe was in here sound asleep on the bed, and I went out to get the tripod. It was down in the shed. And I thought I shut the door, but he managed to open it. I don't know if he's learned how to work that doorknob or if I didn't get it pushed all the way through, but he come out behind me and then he lit out after something. He keeps running off of barking at night like that, and he's on calls me to get my light out and go back to night hunting. Minnesota. Is it cold up there in Minnesota? Hey, I had on a long sleeve button-up shirt today while I was working on that back pattern. I was sweating. I had to take it off. It's t-shirt weather again. We can't run old man summer off from down here. Now, I don't know that I want to be up there where y'all don't get no spring and can plant nothing to the middle of May, but y'all, I'm tired of hot weather. I ain't gonna lie now. So anyway, y'all, Talking about Roscoe going down to there, he done lit out a barking and after something. It may have been after a possum. I got to thinking about old Marcel. They got hungry back years ago, you know. Said they caught them a bunch of raccoons, said they was going to sell them and raise them some money, and said they got to send them off to Sears and Roebuck's, and said when they got their check, it was for a dime. Their price had dropped. So said, well, they decided to take a possum hunting dogs out, and they was just going to catch possums and sell them for folks to eat. Well, they got out there one night and they was way down in the swamp, got down next to the railroad tracks that cut through down there by Amite County. And man said they'd done treed. They was trying to get on one, hadn't caught one yet. Said all of a sudden they heard that train coming. Said, woo, woo, woo. Said it just blowing a whistle coming through there, and said old Marcel broke and run. Had his lantern in his hand, said he run down there and got straddled of the middle of them tracks, standing there. Said he started waving that lantern, put his red bandana around it and made that light bright red. Said he went to waving that lantern back and forth. And said, man, said 100-car banana train screeched to a halt. Said the engineer and the fireman jumped off, come running up there and said, what kind of an emergency do we have here? Said Marcel, said, well, I wanted to see if y'all wanted to buy a possum. Said the man, said, a possum? He said, you must be an idiot. He said, you mean to tell me that you have stopped 100-car banana train to see if we wanted to buy a possum? He said, well, inasmuch as I like possum, he said, how much do you want for him? Marcel said, well, we ain't caught him yet, just wanted to see if you wanted one. Reckon they was going to wait around for him to catch one so he could. Lord, Lord. Rural prepper, I really hadn't thought of trying anything different from what I've got, because if what I got ain't going to work, I'd rather hang it on the wall and tote one of my rifles. My whole deal with it was being able to make my own powder and cast my own balls to hunt with. If I can't do that, I don't have no interest in it. I know that's going to break a lot of purist hearts, but if it's got to become a science down to what all I can use in it, I just took my rifle, because it's a whole lot more accurate. If I got to shoot sabots and use a certain this and a certain that, I wanted to be able to just make my own powder and cast my own balls and then go hunting and kill an animal. And without that appeal, I don't have no interest in it. So no, I'm probably not going to try no whole bunch of different kind of stuff just to make the gun shoot. Not right now anyway. Now there may be a time in my life where I get interested in it and do all that, but I imagine if I can't get it to shoot these bullets right here that I can cast, then we're going to build a flintlock 54 probably, smooth bore. That way it'll shoot whatever I want. It'll shoot nails if I want to throw them down the pipe. Ooh, actually really nice. Now in the low 40s. I wish we had 40 degrees right now. Most everybody down here thinks I'm crazy because they like this warm, hot weather. And I mean, it was comfortable out, but I was sweating today. I don't like that. Patrick Wilson. Francisco. That Jerry Clower's a hoot now. I like old Jerry Clower. Charlie Pickerel. Marty, I got a stack of Jerry Clower tapes. If I could find me a cassette player, I'd be in business. I could listen to Jerry Clower. I'd listen to them tell about when they was going down there to New Orleans on that Panama Limited. He said the fastest train, whatever was, said it come right through there. Said it come through Macomb, Mississippi so fast. Said it was the cleanest city in the town. Said that train had come through there doing 100 miles an hour. Said it just sucked all the trash right out of there. Said they got on it, was going to go down there to something in New Orleans they got invited to, and they got on that train and said, they was sitting there and said, here come this fella down the aisle going, apples, oranges, bananas, apples, oranges, bananas, and 2 for a nickel. Said Marcel said, I asked him, said, hey fella, said, what's that banana? He said, 2 for a nickel. Marcel said, well, give me 2 of them. Man took his nickel, handed him 2 bananas. Marcel said, how you eat it? He said, well, you peel that yellow part off. Said Marcel hung his fingernails in there and commenced to slice and got it open. Said he peeled it down, said, scooped him up a handful of it. Said he popped it in his mouth. Said by the time he popped it in his mouth, said that train went into a tunnel. Said black as midnight. Said you couldn't see your hand before you. He said, old Marcel said, Jerry. He said, what is it, Marcel? He said, you ate your banana yet? He said, no. He said, well, don't. I took 1 bite of mine and went stone blind. Uncle Sasquatch, you'd go with a 62 over a 54 smoothbore? My reasoning was being able to shoot squirrels and stuff. That would be like a 28 gauge. And I figure that is what I need, because they ain't really many places that I'm going to be able to hunt in this swamp with a flintlock that I'm going to shoot over 100 yards. So a smoothbore would allow me to do a couple of different things. And Tommy Litchfield, 62 is a 20 gauge. And that'll kill about anything that walks or crawls in the state of Mississippi. We don't have very many bears, and if we do, they ain't going to let us shoot at them. And if I needed to, a 62 caliber round ball or to make him fighting mad. I heard them say that you had to shoot them grizzly bears right in the eyeball to penetrate their skull. But we got a few little old black bears, but they ain't big as nothing. But I probably wouldn't shoot at one if I saw him. I might whoop him with a switch, but I wouldn't shoot him. Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca, that thing will jar your teeth pretty good sometimes, but now I wasn't putting a lot of powder in that one. I tell you the one that'll put a bruise on your shoulder, and you go watch me squirrel hunt with that Stevens 12 gauge shotgun. That thing will kick you like a mule. It's a 3.5 inch Magnum, and it's light, and there ain't no padding on that butt plate, and it'll stomp you. When I got back from squirrel hunting, I was sore for a day or 2. I didn't let on, though. I wouldn't bow to let nobody know it hurt. Oh, no, it don't kick like that 12 gauge Stevens. I have never shot a 10 gauge. Hello from Colorado. Good to see y'all tonight. It'll kill old Marcel Ledbetter. Jerry said he was a real living, breathing man. Said he was standing down there and met one fellow. Said they was down there in Macomb, Mississippi. Said they went in this place and bought a suit. Bought him a tweed suit. Said he was going to take him to the Grand Ole Opry with him one night. said they went up there and said they went to the Grand Ole Opry and watched Jerry do his show and all. He had Marcel up there with him, and said they flew back and said on the way back, said they were sitting in the plane, said there was this fellow sitting over there, and said Marcel was scared to death. Now, said he had his Bible armed up with him on the way back flight. Said the fellow said, hey, said, you one of them Bible thumpers? He said, well, he said, I don't know about thumping no Bible, said, but I believe what it says. He said, surely you joking. He said, you really can't believe that part in there about Jonah being swallowed by a fish for 3 days and then it spit him out. And he said, Marcel told him, said, well, said, if it's in there, said, I believe it. He said, if it's in the Bible, I believe it's true. He said, surely you don't believe it. He said, whenever I get, he said, Marcel told him, said, when I get to heaven, he said, I'm going to ask Jonah about that. That fellow was trying to be a smart aleck. He asked Marcel, said, well, what if you get to heaven and Jonah ain't there? Marcel looked over and said, well, then you can ask him. So anyway, they got caught in a rainstorm up there when they left the Grand Ole Opry, and they got back down here. And fellow they bought that suit from said, man, they decided they was going to carry it back. Said, man, it drawled up. Said that suit shrunk. Said it come halfway down Marcel's arms, and said the breeches, said they come down here about halfway down his legs. Said there's a good 8 or 10 inches short on his legs. Said they marched right up in that place where they bought the suit, and said Marcel asked him, said, hey fella, said, you remember me? Said he looked at Marcel and said, yes, I remember you. Said, my, how you have grown. Oh. Tennessee Smoky, good to see you tonight. Linwood Vowel, we ain't never got rid of a gun that we didn't regret. I got a guitar laying right here at my feet that my daddy bought from you. It's a Washburn acoustic guitar. In fact, I played it last week on him a little bit. I ain't no good at it. Chris, you too late. We fixing to shut down. You here? We going home now. No, you ain't never too late. We liable to be here no telling how long. Y'all know I can't shut up. Watching in Tennessee. I'm gonna move to Tennessee one day. I hear y'all get a little snow over in the winter. We don't get none down here much. If it snows down here, it's like, man, people just lose their minds. There's stuff they ain't never seen before. Come to the foothills. I want to go to somewhere over between Nashville and Knoxville. I think get somewhere off up in the northern part up that way. If not there, over toward Land Between the Lakes. That'd be my two choices of areas to go to. I want to be whichever one is the most rural and got the least amount of people. That's where I want to get. I don't want to be in no tourist area. I wouldn't care if I'd never seen Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg ever again in my life. I wouldn't feel like I had missed nothing. That just ain't my thing. Crossville. I think I have been to Crossville one time, or been through it. I didn't just target that, but I've been through there. Missouri, you here for the peanuts? Well, I have been boiling peanuts all my life. We are still trying to master this parching peanuts because I love parched peanuts. So when we did the Spirit of the Outdoors stew cooking over here and invited everybody over, I bought a big old sack of them. Well, now they sitting in here, and I mean, it's a major ordeal to boil a pot full of them. Well, it ain't a major ordeal. You just take some big pot of water and pour them in there and boil them for several hours, and really you need about a box of salt. At least a half a box of salt to get them salted. Time it soaks through that shell, makes them fit to eat. So we have always boiled peanuts, but the parching them is a trip. Now, my mama told me that they used to do it. We had an arena up here years ago, and they sold them, sell a little old bag of them. She said they parched them in the microwave because they had to do so many and do it fast. Now, I don't know what number she pushed in there and how long it went. She just said she remembered them doing them in the microwave. But now what I have done, you seen that big old skillet? That skillet's about this big around. And I put it in the oven, and I put it on 450. And I left it about 15 minutes. Let it get good and hot. And then I opened the door, and I covered the bottom of that thing with peanuts. And I pushed it in there, and I left it about 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then I just hit off. And I let it sit there till it cooled down. And in about an hour, I went in there, and it had cooled completely down, and I got them peanuts out, and they was perfect. Now, a lot of people do it on a cookie sheet, and a cookie sheet will do it a lot faster. You just got to be careful. That cast iron will hold its heat longer and seems to do better for me. So I don't know. Anyway, the parched peanuts is good. Now, that bucket, I filled up an ice cream. Well, I had an ice cream bucket half full of them out of that skillet. And I have eaten just about every one of them. I think there's a handful in yonder. So I'm probably going to do a short video next week, one day, on doing it. I just wanted to master it down to I knew exactly how I needed to do it before I decided to make a video on it. So I'm going to try to do a video on that here pretty quick. The squirrels is building way up in the trees. Well, if y'all have a mild winter, that just shoots my chances of getting a snow. My grandpa, every time it snowed, he said, well, you could track a rabbit today. So last time it snowed here, I went and tried to track one. I never did find one. I tell you this, they wasn't nothing moving. I mean, there was very few birds even out when it snowed here the last time. A lard lid, that's about the same thing as a cookie sheet, and that would do the ticket. Rebecca, you can buy a can of boiled peanuts. They come in a little yellow can, at least they do down here in the South, in the grocery stores. In fact, you can get them at Walmart's. You got to say Walmart's with an S at the end if you're down here in the South. At least that's what them old timers did. And everything's got an on the end of it. Like yellow is yeller. But anyway, it's got a yeller can at Walmart's, and you can get them boiled peanuts. And they even got a Cajun style that is really good. So when I want them spicy, I pour me a little crab boil off in my water, spices them boiled peanuts right on up. But now I like the parched peanuts because I can put them in a sack and carry them to the deer stand, and I can sit there and eat peanuts. Now, mind you, they'll tear your stomach up if you ain't careful, which don't really matter to me, I ain't gonna put myself off in a place where that's a problem. Maybe for church I wouldn't eat a bunch before I went to church. That probably wouldn't be a good idea. On the vegetable aisle, Linwood said. So, and they got them up there in Missouri. I know they got them that far up. Can you put a patina on stainless steel blade? You know, Tennessee, that is a good question. I have a couple of stainless knives. In fact, this queen that I got in my pocket is stainless. And I'm not a fan of stainless, but you know, I don't know. There's got to be a way. I guarantee you there is a way. I'll find out. I'll tell you why. I've got an old blade that come out of a pocket knife that I found somewhere that is just the blades, like a replacement blade for like a trapper or something. And I'll experiment with it because it won't be, I mean, you can't burn it. I could still use it for a knife if I'll find out. I might not find out tomorrow or next week, but here in the coming sometime I'll find out. And y'all, I tell y'all a secret. I was pilfering around on eBay and I keep hitting that heart button by stuff I like. And I was looking at these queen knives. You know, I want one of them yellow ones like this with that queen logo on the side. See, this one ain't got the queen logo on the handle. It's got it on the blade up there. And of one of them fellows, I had clicked on one of them trappers. It was about $20. These knives ain't expensive, but they are good. Queen makes a good knife. Now, it's China on the steel. Now, it says China, but now, I ain't had no problem with it. The knife is made very well. The springs and all is perfect. And they had a trapper that looked just like this. And that guy, he said, I made a price drop or something. He said he offered me like $14 or something on it. I said, just go ahead and send that to me. I'll put it in my drawer with my other ones. Y'all don't do stuff like that, do you? Shh, don't tell my wife. She'll always get mad. Are you up north? Does a bear do it in the woods? I ain't much better than a bear. Man, being in the woods ain't never slowed me down. Find you some good leaves and yeah. Marty, I use that apple cider vinegar and water mixed half and half, and then I heat it up till it's boiling and drop my knife in there and then cut it off and let it cool down. And them carbon blades, it'll turn them a nice patina. The stainless, though, I don't know. I mean, it's stainless, you know, it ain't supposed to stain, so. I don't know about that. Now, I hadn't done this up north in Minnesota, okay? You know, the temperature different. Now, right now, you said it was 40, I could deal with that. But now, when it gets down there around 0, we might. And here's the next thing. You don't want to wear coveralls, okay? Because coveralls presents a problem when you get in one of them situations. And you'll be very careful or you'll feel the neck of them coveralls up. Yeah, you'll figure it out. Don't do that. I heard about a fellow that did. And he had to go home early from work. So he wasn't a kid. He was a grown man. It was supposed to be a true story. I don't know. Anyway, I'm coming up there to go ice fishing. Man, I'd love to go ice fishing. And every time I think about ice fishing, I just, from grumpy old men when they sit in them ice houses and they catch that fish and a woman puts it back in there and he's hollering, no, 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 and that fish goes back in there. They didn't even get a picture of it. He was trying to desperately take a picture. She done put it back in that little old hole. You know, I would like to go ice fishing. You set up in that little house like deer hunting down here where we got them boxes and you got your heater and, you know, coffee pot and the TV and everything going on in there. And A lot of them, I think, they get aggravated if a deer walks out. Probably about that way fishing. You know, you sitting in there fishing, watching TV, you know, got the heater going and snacks cooking and all that in there, and if a fish bites, and I doggone it, I'm trying to cook. In pure vinegar, it shouldn't take it but an hour or two to get the rust off, I don't think. Pure vinegar. But I will tell you this. The longer it stays in vinegar, theoretically, it is supposed to soften the steel. So, I don't know. Because I soaked my barrel to my flintlock in vinegar. Actually, I didn't soak it. I sprayed it down good because I was trying to make it rust. Here's the deal. Now, when you come out of the vinegar, you got to go into a water and baking soda to neutralize it, or else it'll start rusting immediately again. You'll speed up the rusting if you ain't careful. But I'd have never got the rust off of it. I would have just throwed it in some black walnuts and let that dye black. I tried to do that with my new gun. It wouldn't take. Up north, you got me tickled. At least it was just a liquid. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have the after the peanuts. You know. That was in 1970, Ronnie Rice. You ain't forgot that either, have you? It'll go right down the neck of them coveralls. Oh, Lord. Y'all killing me. Y'all about bad as them folks didn't like my pillow. Y'all know that now every time I shoot them rifles, I got to use that pillow. No, I hadn't, Kip. Oh, and I got a can that Larry Alexander sent to me, and I hadn't got it out. But now we will say that I think, Kip, this is what we're gonna try next. Me and Uncle Sasquatch been talking about it. This bullet may stabilize. We've decided that the twist rate is out of whack on it. It's too fast of a twist rate for a round ball, so it's putting a curveball on it like Nolan Ryan, you know. And you ever watch them boys play wiffle ball and they got them holes in that ball and they really put a spin on it and that thing will curve bad? I think that's what's happening to them round balls. So, but I do have some Pyrodex, and see, I have got a CVA inline that uses a 209 primer, so I can shoot all of that stuff. My whole deal with this muzzleloader was I was working my way towards making my own bullets and making my own powder, where I would always be self-sufficient was the allure that I had to it. Not as much as, hey, I wanted to go back to traditional, you know. I mean, I did like that as well. I'm not against it, but the Pyrodex and them Sabots will work excellent. And I figured that, and I'm probably going to shoot them in this rifle at some point because I've got some on my pillar, just so I can show people that pillar ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. Oh, Lord. Rule Prepper, I don't know. Me and Uncle Sasquatch has been trying to pull it up. It ain't stamped on the rifle nowhere. The rifle was given to me. the guy that gave it to me, Nick Sharp, he had hunted with it for a lot of years, and he was shooting sabots in the little 777 pellets, you know, the powder pellets. So it was shooting fine with all that stuff. So it is the twist rate of that patch, and I figure it's like a 1 in 48 or a 1 in 52, something like that. I pulled it up. If you'll get on Google, there's several forums that people have asked this very question. This is a CVA Hawking Hunter. So you can pull it up and try to live, but that's all I know on the gun. I don't have any other information on it. But the Pyrodex will work, I guess. Now that, Uncle Sasquatch, is true. That stuff probably going to leave. You're going to have to do a lot of cleaning. But now I'm going to be honest with you. That GoX 2F that I was shooting yesterday left a lot of residue up and down that barrel, because the first shot would be like crazy off to over here. The second shot would be fairly decent. And then the third shot, the ball was hard to go down, and then it would be off somewhere, and I'd clean it out, and it'd throw another wild one, and then it'd shoot somewhat decent, and then it would throw another. So I don't know. I never could get something I could deal with, was my thing. Marty, I have loaded, and I don't know how many grains I put, but I have reloaded my own 12 gauge shells with a 209 primer with black powder in that single shot, and I loaded them with BBs and everything, shot fine. I have never had no problem shooting anything out of my shotgun with it. I don't remember how many grains I think I shot 50 grains is what I shot. But now my 4570, I don't know if I got any of them right here or not. Sometimes I got, yeah. This 4570 right here is loaded with black powder. And it's got 70 grains of 2F GoX in it. This is a black powder cartridge. So that'll be my next what I hunt with. The 30-30 and that 45-70 are going to be my go-to guns probably this year. Unless I figure what I want to do now. Up north, have you never heard of a largemouth mason jar? You need to get you a largemouth mason jar and carry to your deer stand with you. Now, it'd solve your problems. I don't know who come up with the bag idea. That was a terrible idea. Any way you look at it, that was a terrible idea. Too easy to get a hole in it. There's way too many bad ideas right there. Get you a largemouth mason jar, you'll be in business. Don't ask me how I know. I'd get run off. Rural Prepper, yours is a 1 in 48. You've never been able to shoot round balls well. I'm thinking that's gonna be my deal. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, while we on the subject of the gun and the pillar, just so y'all, if you go back and read through the comments, there's all kind of people that pillar was the problem. If you'd get something more stable than that pillar, it'd fix it. Y'all, if 40 yards, I can't hit a piece of cardboard that wide and that tall consistently. I mean, I completely missed it one time. if I can't hit that at 40 yards, whether it was a pillow or not, I'll put my guns up and I won't never shoot there nothing again. If that's what the problem is. Because if you can't, at 40 yards, if you got to have a lead sled and a gun vise to hit a piece of cardboard, you ain't got no business with a gun anywhere. And the sad thing is most of the people that commented that was from their past experience. Y'all, I liable to shoot free-handed at 40 yards out of a canoe with it moving over the window of a truck. I mean, off the buggy, walking, over a limb on a rail in a shooting house. It's hard. There ain't nothing but... And a pillow's a problem at 40 yards. Oh, no, come on, y'all. They really can't think it. Now, if we were shooting 150, pillow might be the problem. You know what I mean? But at 40 yards, come on now. Come on. That pillow was the problem. And one fella, he said, "You flinching." Son, if I'm flinching that bad, I ain't gonna sit here and say I ain't flinch a little. I might have flinched enough to move it, yay much. We did miss a whole sheet of cardboard 40 yards. I was gonna reply to all the comments, but I had so much of that stuff, I said it ain't gonna be smart for me to start replying to these. I'm gonna lose half my following if I do. Oh, Lord, y'all. Bless their hearts. They don't know. They can't help it. They just saw, and I knew it was going to happen when I asked for advice. But I did get a lot of good advice. We really did. I mean, I don't regret asking for advice because I had a whole bunch of people that made a lot of sense, stuff, talking about the twist rate. And honestly, I had not even considered the twist rate was off until y'all started saying something about it. And I clicked and I'm like, yeah, more than likely that is the problem. So we're going to shoot these bullets and we're going to see what happens. If it probably not going to stack them up on a quarter. But if we get them to where they like this at 40 yards, then we'll have learned something and we'll be able to progress forward then. So... And I don't know what grain these are. I'll have to look on my mold. I have a Lee mold, and I made these. I can take them over to the shooting shack, we call it, where my dad does all his reloading, and I can weigh every one of them. I can weigh them till they, I could take a file and take a little off and make every one of them weigh the same if I wanted to, such as that kind of stuff. I'm not that picky. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Yeah, Michigan prepper. That's the way I felt. Down south, we say bless their hearts. Yeah, I mean, Charlie, 40 yards, if I was shooting 150 yards or if I was even shooting 100 yards, I'd have said, I'm flinching. Possible. But not at 40, y'all. I mean, I just ignored it and went on, But I have had plans to build a rifle. But here's the problem with me building a smoothbore rifle. I'm still wanting that Gibson Hummingbird. See, here's the problem. Now I'm going to get enough money up there where I can say, well, I can buy that kit to build that rifle. And there'll go my guitar money right off the bat. So, I don't know. It'll be a dilemma. We'll see what happens. But I guarantee you I can go up there and see Mr. Jack in Corinth. Mr. Jack Garner can have me a kit to put together in a little bit of no time if I needed it. So. Y'all see, I had to go back down to my old coffee cup. Uncle Sasquatch, you got $20 towards that guitar. Hey, I got a video on here. I ought to play it back here. It'd probably get me banned if I did. But there's a fella playing one. A hummingbird that's got the little hummingbirds up his neck. I really wondered what it cost. Give me a guess, Uncle Sasquatch, of what that. It's out of the custom shop. And it says custom up on the headstock. And it's got inlaid hummingbirds. It's all the way up the neck. Yeah. No, Kyle, we keeping this one. This one, you see how stained it is? That ring in it. They don't nobody want that one because you can't wash that out of this one. This one will season. But I like it. I don't have one for sale no more. It sold last week too. You know, I told y'all it was on the Etsy store. Boom, next morning it was gone. I shipped all that out. But I'm fixing to have to go fill that coffee cup back up. Hey, will you fill my coffee cup up, Mama? Yeah. Y'all, you can't beat a woman like this. She's coming to get my coffee cup.
Just because you're on live.
She's special. I meant that in a good way, too. No, Cal, I ain't going to sell that one. I may make them another just like it. I can't believe Mary would give me $100 for that cup. Lord. Uncle Sasquatch 5K won't touch it. I think, if I ain't mistaken, thank you. I'm thinking that guitar that I've got a video of them, they playing it on him, was around 10 or 15, maybe even more. And 5,000 would buy a lot of black powder rifles. But which one would I get more enjoyment out of, reckon? That'd be the question. That'd be the question. What if I get real good at playing the guitar? I tell y'all what I got on my mind. When I go preach somewhere, I would like to be able to play a song before I preach, and I would like to have a nice guitar. I don't want them to think I'm, poor. Anyway. Lord, I don't need no guitar. I don't even need another gun. I got more guns than I can shake a stick at. Larry, Michelle done cut out on us. She come brought me some hot coffee. Uncle Sasquatch, you got a good point there. That is a very good point. You can't shoot nothing to eat with a guitar. And I probably won't never be good enough to make $1 with it either. It'd just be an expense, wouldn't it? Well, but it'd be an investment that held its money. I've got to come up with something. See, that's the thing, Charlie. I can pick that guitar up anytime and go to strumming on it. It's a major ordeal to go shoot that rifle. You got to go load everything up, go down there to the range. Got to wait for hunting season to shoot anything to eat with it. Tommy, I tell you what, I got good friends like you. I figure you'd buy me one. Ain't but $80,000. I mean, what Bandit tell Jerry Reed on there? He told Smokey, he said, $85. Yeah, that's what made them load up in that truck and take off all the way over there to Texarkana, Texas. Well, Kyle, the only bad thing about it is I got plenty of guitars too. You know, I was telling y'all the other night about the PV Tracer. I have been playing this old guitar more. This is in Linwood, Vowel. You sold my daddy this guitar. But I pulled the knobs off, and the knobs cracked. Had them old plastic knobs, and they cracked. So I got to make me some knobs, and I tell you what I was going to do. I'm going to cut me some pieces of deer antler and drill them, and that's what I'm going to put on here. I'm going to have 2 pieces of deer antler on here for my knobs. But this was blue. It is a PV Tracer. Y'all, I like PV. I ain't gonna play that right now. I had to plug it all up to an amp and everything. And I like that little Bandit amp right down there. It is a fine little amp. Thank you, Tommy. I knew you was gonna take care of that for me. Jump right on there and get that. Up north, whenever win the lottery, I'll buy you both. I sure appreciate that. I tell you what, I won't never forget you. I won't never. Every time I play it or shoot the gun, I'll mention in every video. Hey, look, are you up north? Got this for me. The nurse up there, this gun got me a guitar, got me a rifle. Yeah, Charlie, there's no shortage of antlers out there to make none with. But I'm gonna tell you about them antlers now. We ain't wasting nothing right yet till we get this back patio built. I got a surprise for y'all out there. We're gonna decorate that up out there where it looks nostalgic and outdoorsy for all the outdoor cooking videos that I like to do. And we may use some of them antlers to make some stuff out there. You know, hooks and racks to hang guns and different things on. I don't know what all we're gonna put out there, but before we chop any of them up into giblets for knife handles and such, we're gonna see what we need out there. Linwood, that little, and you may have sold them the Bandit amp when you had that music store uptown. Is about the time that we bought all this stuff. Now, I bought this Marshall stack later, and the Les Paul and the Fender we bought later. But this Washburn guitar we bought from you, and I think that PV amp, and I don't know where they got the Black Widow that's out front. But now, all of that, this Washburn right here, I put this Rose on there and named it Rosie when I was a teenager. But now, they bought this back in I'm going to say in the mid-'80s. It was a left-handed guitar. Because you see there ain't no numbers on the top up there. I mean dots. They're all on the bottom. I've been working on that little lick. But I like this guitar, and it is a Washburn. I don't know what. No, all it says is Washburn in there. This is a D28. D28S, left hand. Got it stamped in there on the front. But now it is a fine guitar. But I hate a chair with armrest on it, except when I want to relax, and these armrests are really handy then. So, but I can't play and read comments. Never heard of an Oakland guitar. Up North Homestead. Lady Hammer. Sherry. Glad y'all joined us tonight. Here we've got, well, now my dad, we're on about 60 acres. I personally myself own 14. My dad has a lot of that land that you see me on is his, and it's all connected together. So I'm your Huckleberry. It is opening day in the morning here too, and I hadn't decided if I'm even going to try to go. And I tell you why. It's warm weather. It's going to turn cold next week. And I can hunt any day next week I want to hunt. I can just drop what I'm doing and go hunting. So I'll be better off to work tomorrow while the woods is slam full of folks. Because I promise you, there'll be so many folks in that swamp you can't shake a stick at them. So I probably ain't going to go. And I like it to be cooler when I'm harvesting meat. And that's what I'm going to be doing, y'all. I could care less if I kill a buck. If I kill one now, I'll be excited. Be like, look at old Mucho Grande. Y'all watch TK and Mike? Hey, if y'all ain't watched TK and Mike now, y'all missed out. But they went down there to Mexico and they looked for old Mucho Grande. And if I kill one, I'll be excited. But now I am a meat hunter. I like them big sirloin steaks off of him. Yeah, that's what I be thinking about. I be licking my lips while I'm in a deer stand. But now I like to go down there and just slip around on the ground. So I'm going to take that 30-30 and just slip around in the woods probably till I kill that first one. It'll kill there ain't... I've got an Ibanez out there that is as good a guitar as any I ever played. I just don't really like the black guitar. It don't appeal to me. But it is a good player. Stays in tune. Has a good sound. I have a really pretty Ibanez, but it ain't real loud. Plays good, just don't have a lot of sound to it. And it's because it's got a lot of glue up in it where somebody made some awful repairs. And I don't know how they done it, if it was done at the factory or what. But now this Washburn right here is probably the best guitar I have. And I don't know what it's worth now. It's probably $1,200 now. Back y'all up there. Boy, that got all crazy, didn't it? Alright. We're going to play one song for y'all. One song. Put your money in the tip jar down there. He's sitting right there at my feet. Just throw quarters at it. Or pennies if you got them. Cloud by day and a fire by night, as he led them on their way, singing and praising his name along that very day. Oh, good manna he did feed them, every single day. Said don't store up for tomorrow, joyfully fill yourselves today. He's gonna bring me out of this desert where it's so dusty and dry. He's gonna bring me out of this desert, he'll not leave me here to die. He's gonna take me where the water is flowing, so full and so free. He's gonna bring me out of this desert and set my feet where they ought to be. For too long I have stood here with sand up to my knees, begging and a pleading and a praying, Lord, bring me relief. Now he's gonna take me where the water is flowing, so cool and so free. He's gonna bring me out of this desert and on to the Garden of Eden I see. Now he's gonna bring me out of this desert where it's so dusty and dry. He's gonna bring me out of this desert, he'll not leave me here to die. He's gonna take me where the water is flowing, so full and so free. He's gonna bring me out of this desert, set my feet where they ought to be. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to have to put that up before we butcher another song. Not to mention that is my foot prop. All right, let's see how many people left after that. Well, we didn't lose but about 15. Oh, Lord. Hey. I'm your huckleberry. Your wife and kids has done took over the guns and stuff. One day I'm going to sit here and cook and I'm going to say, hey, Brody, bring me a deer. And I'm going to say, you know, I believe a rabbit would be good. I believe you can go get me a rabbit. That's the way it's supposed to work, ain't it? And then I'll just cook. I like to cook. I enjoy cooking. Did I mention I like to cook? And I'll tell you why I like to cook. Because I like to eat. And I like to hunt. Because I like to eat. You know why I love to fish? It's fun. I like to get excited when I catch a grunnel on the end of the line. I like to catch them big slab crappies. But I like it because I like to eat fish. And I like to cook fish. Jenny, if I just knew how to play it good, we'd all be in business. See, now it done back up to 84 people. See, I put that guitar up and they start coming back. Ain't nothing run folks off like a fella that don't know how to play a guitar. It don't make me no never mind, no. I ain't really trying to impress nobody like how wonderful I am. And if I can make you laugh, that's about all I care. And then if I can show you that there is a really good life out there to live, you can live it. It's just a choice, simply a choice about, you know what, I'm going to live a good life. And all you got to do is start living it. I mean, it's a lot of work now. I don't think it's going to be easy. But it's simple and it's good. It's peaceful. And peaceful is really close to the word priceless, in my opinion. Diana Bowen, Robert is recovering at home now. Praise the Lord. That is good news. Good news. Tommy said I'd throw a good scald on some stew. You hadn't tried the bowfin yet. I hate to brag on my grinnell. But now I done took 2 or 3 people that ain't never eat grinnell before in their life, and they was ready for another bite. Hand me another plate full of that. Jimmy, as of last year, the Nano Warrior Refuge allowed centerfire rifles. It is no longer primitive weapon only. You can hunt with your 30-06 with a scope on it, or your AR-15, or your AR-10. I don't know about the AR-15 because it is a 22 caliber. I think it specifies that it has to be 30 caliber or greater, I think. And I think that is for the purpose of not having a bunch of small caliber. 223 is not an ideal hunting round. Yes, it'll kill a deer. I've killed deer with them. I didn't say it would. I just said it's. Here's the problem. You get a lot of people that ain't good shots that they just see hair and shoot. You know, them bunch of them kind of people. And a lot of it's kids and different stuff. And they learning, you know. I mean, cut them some slack. So you say, you know, you need a gun big enough if you hit him in the butt, you knock him down and might get another shot. Where you ain't got a bunch of crippled up deer running around, you know, with holes in them. So anyway, it'll kill. I burn a gun stock for looks. That Renegade Thompson Center I got, I burnt the stocks on it with a torch. Get this, you know what? It'll sand right back out. If you decide you don't like them burnt spots, you get you a DA sander and it'll just come right back to wood, and then you can stain it and won't nobody ever know the difference. I'd usually sand that shiny off of most of my guns anyway. But now I'm like Huckleberry. I probably would take the gun apart and just burn the stock. I disassembled my rifle, took all the metal parts out before I done it. But now, I guess to each they own. Which way you want to do it, Lady Hammer, how many dogs did you kill? Wait, I probably shouldn't have said that on here. Killed 20 of your chickens. Lord, Lord, Lord. Hey, Irene. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Unfortunately, it was my own dog. I had a bulldog, pit bull. His name was Komatsu, and he was a bad dude. He got loose from a chain. I had to keep him on a chain for this purpose. A lot of people don't like a dog on a chain, but I had to keep him on a chain. And he got off one day while I was gone. I don't know if I was hunting or at work or what, but I come home and there's chickens all over the yard. I even had chickens in this cage up off the ground. He tore a hole through them. He put me slim out of the chicken business. I had to start over. They was all them chicken house chickens I had brought here. I was going to slaughter them. Well, he helped me out tremendously. Mark, it's Justin Peden at Gmail. JustinPeden at Gmail. If you don't get up there, get on Facebook. Spirit of the Outdoors on Facebook. Logos is all the same, and you can message me there. Yep, Lady Hammer, you got the right idea. It'll work every time. You just keep your mouth shut. Don't never say a word. Do what's got to be done, and don't advertise it. It works like a charm. Well, well, well. Mark, that is good. I am happy to know. I get a lot of, I've had, especially this past week, I ain't gonna say who, but I had somebody write me some messages. I sat down and read, y'all, and honest to God, I sat right here with tears running down my cheeks. Because my whole goal with this YouTube channel ain't to show y'all how wonderful I am, because I ain't. I'm just a everyday old country boy like everybody else. I ain't no better than nobody else. I put my britches on one leg at a time like everybody else. I don't think I'm better than nobody. My whole goal is if I can help some people, if I can bring a little happiness and a little joy, a little peace, if I can teach you something or share, some knowledge that I have learned. A lot of it is stuff I'm learning as I go, like the black powder. I'm learning and sharing y'all what I learned. A lot of people, they want to look like an expert at everything. So if they mess something up, they'll delete that. They ain't about to put that out. I'm humble enough that I don't think I'm perfect in every way. So I put out, my next thing is I want people to see evidence of what God can do. Evidence of the Spirit working. What is it?
Get over here and talk to folks. He just got out of the tub.
Oh, come here. Brody wants to talk too. Get up here with me.
Yeah, that's why I was holding his hand. He said, "We ain't in the parking lot."
I tell you what, you get right over here. How about that? You get right up there in Daddy's lap. He just got out of the tub. They was saying hey to you a while ago. Tell them, you gonna talk to them?
Yeah.
Tell them what all's been going on. You got any big stories to tell? They like tales. They love Jerry Clower. You make up some tales and tell them.
Yeah.
What?
Tell them about Bigfoot.
You like Bigfoot?
Well,
He's fascinated with watching himself on this camera
we've
over here.
been catching alligators. That was a long time ago.
We caught some alligators a long time ago.
Yeah. And,
I don't know if we're supposed to tell that or not.
And we watch cowboy shows.
We watch cowboy shows. What's our favorite show to watch?
And we wait to watch mountain lions.
Mountain lions.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like mountain lions too.
Look, do you think that there's Bigfoot out there? Tell them about Bigfoot.
Is
you talked
Bigfoot
about
real?
Bigfoot last night.
Is Bigfoot real?
No.
No? Okay. What about Santa Claus? We know of Santa Claus, don't we? Yeah. He done come down here to see us a time or two, ain't he? He didn't have his suit on, though, when he come.
What?
You don't remember that man come down here and he showed you that picture of him in his suit on his phone? You don't remember when he come? It was summertime. He didn't have his red suit on that day. You don't remember?
Well,
He showed you a picture on his phone.
Well, where's the picture?
Well, it was on his phone.
Well, where's his phone?
Well, I figure it's probably in his pocket. He's probably got it up in his hand watching us right now. Right?
Come on.
Where you going? Are you going to tell them bye anything?
Go tell them bye.
Bye.
Well, they can't see you.
Bye.
Anyway, y'all. He come in here so clean as squeaking. But anyway, what I was saying, all I'm interested y'all in doing here is sharing some joy. If I can make somebody smile, if I can make somebody laugh, if I can help somebody find evidence that the Lord is real. Y'all, it saddens me that there's so many people that really don't believe in God in this country. And, to us, people off in a foreign land somewhere, you kind of take for granted they don't have maybe as much opportunity as we do to hear about the Lord. And religion has become so watered down, so weak, that they ain't no power in a lot of it. Now, there's power in prayer, but nobody makes any sacrifice to get God's attention anymore. God is pleased by sacrifice. He is pleased by things that you lay aside in your life and say, you know, Lord, it ain't about whether this is going to get me into heaven or hell. It's just, you know, I'm going to lay this aside because I don't think it pleases you. And I don't think this is good. So I'm going to cut it out of my life. It ain't about, well, if you do this, you go into hell. I don't like to preach it that way. There's some things that I really believe, you know, if you do, you might go to hell for doing them, but I don't like to preach it that way. Because if you got to scare people with hell to get them, why not just fall in love with Jesus? And if you'd been where I've been and been an alcoholic and been a mess, and then all of a sudden God gives you this wonderful life of peace and joy, and the anxiety is gone, and the depression is gone, and the alcohol is gone, and all of a sudden you got the motivation to start cleaning up the literal garbage in your life, in your yard, in your house, and start building and realize, you know what, I can do anything that I want to do because I trust Him. And I want to share that. And that is exactly what I do. Everything I do is because of Him. What I do with my hands, the things I make, is because He's blessed me. You know? It's because I believe in me and I believe He's helping me. So I ain't scared to try anything. Sometimes I try things and be like, well, I ain't real good at that. It's like this guitar. I ain't real good at it. I keep trying, I'm getting better, and I realize, you know, it's going to take a lot of practice for me to learn to play this guitar in a way that it's pleasing to other people. Your spiritual walk with God is the same way. It's going to take you a lot of practicing and working at it to get it to where it's appealing to other people. Because a lot of times on our best days, we still a mess. My best songs that I can play on that guitar right now is probably still a mess. You know what I mean? Compared to J.R. Willis and, you know, some of these other guys that I know that watch my channel that can play. There's some really good guitar players out there. I ain't near about that good. I don't think I am. But you know what? If I keep practicing, one day I can be. And you the same way. You don't look at other people and go, well, I'll never be as good as they are. I'll never be the Christian that they are. Well, if you think like that, you can't. But if you say, you know what? If they can live that life, I can. If they can have that much peace, I can. If they can develop a walk with God that's blessed like that, I can have it. Because God said He was no respecter of persons. In other words, He didn't put one person up here and then these people, you know, because you're this, you're down here, you know. It don't matter about your skin color. It don't matter if you was, what name you got. It don't matter if you're man or woman. It don't matter, you know, if you're rich or poor or what. He said He loved all of us. I mean, here I am, an old rural country boy from down in Mississippi. And I feel like He loves me as much as He does anybody else. And that's the truth about it. That's why I share the videos that I'm... So, anyway. Texas girls, I'm talking to Texas smokers here. Not many creators put out good, honest videos. Rural prepper, that is one of the things that gripes me, especially in the homesteading side of things. I have filmed enough videos in my life in the last 6 years that I can watch somebody else's video and I know what's going on behind the scenes because I understand camera angles, I understand background noise, I understand all this stuff. Whenever you put 3 shots together, I know if you had 3 cameras or if you had to move the camera, I pick up on that. That being said, I can tell you if they faking it or not. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of these big homesteading channels that saying, oh, we doing this and we doing this, and I ain't really doing all that. They just trying to make it look like they are because it's popular. Because this method of doing something is appealing to the eye, and it gripes me when I know they faking that. And I'm not going to get on their channel and call them out. I ain't going to watch them neither, but Eric and Barbara Fleming, we'll see you later. Thank you for joining us tonight. Pitball Smoker, you gonna cook a brisket, Texas girl? I am threatening thawing out a brisket I have got and cooking it for Thanksgiving. Oh, Hound Job, we not faking nothing here. If it goes south, you'll see it. If I do something and it flops, I'll tell you, hey, don't do this. It didn't work. Because it's like me shooting that gun the other day. I went down there and filmed a video of us shooting paper and scattered the bullets all. I fully thought I was going to go down there and shoot that gun about 4 or 5 times and stack them bullets up and go, all right, we ready to go hunting. Not so, Lord. So, no, Mark the buggy it's doing all right. I need to finish changing them other bushings and bearings out. Texas girl, you're not eating at my house. You don't like brisket? Oh, Lord. If you don't like brisket, you sure probably wouldn't like some of the other stuff I've cooked. What about raccoon? You put that on the smoker? Possum. I bet possum and peaches. Peaches and possum would be good, wouldn't it? If I cooked a beaver one year for Thanksgiving. No, it was Christmas. I cooked a beaver for Christmas. Armadillo tacos. I was working with this little Spanish fellow when I was doing metal roofing. He was actually the job boss. I went to work for him. He was running a crew. I was welding, and my uncle, he owned the business, and he said, I need you to go help him finish his building up. The guy that was helping him quit. Sure, no big deal. I can speak a little Spanish. Me habla poquito español. So I took off over there. We worked a little while. Well, one day, and I wound up doing that for 10 years. So one day we was leaving a job, and he was in front of me in his truck. I was following. About that time, I seen his brake lights come on. Gun barrel poked out the window. Pow, 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 pow. He had a .22 rifle in there stuck out the window going pow, 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 pow. Now, we ain't on the main road. We still on this long dirt road coming out from this big shops back up in the edge of the woods, so armadillo had run across a road, and he's shooting this armadillo. He jumps out of the truck, runs down there, grabs it by the tail, throws it in the back of the truck. And I said, hey, man, what you gonna do with that armadillo? He said, I eat him. I said, no. I said, you gonna eat that armadillo? I said, man, I ain't never eaten no armadillo. He said, they good. I said, y'all eat armadillos in Mexico? He said, yeah. He said, they know armadillos in Mexico. I said, oh, really? They ain't got armadillos down there? He said, no, we eat them all. So, oh, Lord. Oh. Independent thinker, I'm gonna be disinclined. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I tell you about coat. I ate a coat one time. I had skinned him for the fur. It was cold out there. I had the wood stove fired up. Man, it was steaming. I mean, I had it hot. It was humming. I had so much wood in there. It was cold. I had skinned that cow early that morning. I kept looking. Man, it was the prettiest red meat hanging up there. I still had him hung up after I got the hide off. I said, I believe I'm going to cut them back straps out and just see what they taste like. So I did, and it wasn't bad. I thought, all right. So last year, I got the wild idea. I'm going to film cooking a coat. I filmed a whole video. I skinned the coat. I cut the back straps out. We sauteed them with Tony Chachere's right there on that wood stove. I sat down with the camera, licking my lips, and popped a piece of that in my mouth. And that was the god-awfulest bite of anything I ever stuck in my mouth in my entire life. I don't know what was wrong with that thing. If it had musk glands, all I cut was the back straps. I didn't, I wasn't cooking legs and all this kind of stuff. I don't remember if it was a male or a female or all what have you. But I tell you, it didn't taste nothing like that first one. Because if it that first one it'd taste like this, and I'd never eat another one. And I said, you know what? There's no way I'm gonna sit here and lick my lips and eat this nasty bite of coyote and try to make like it's good. And I deleted that footage, and y'all never saw it. Y'all never knew any different. I wasn't gonna lie to you. I said, nope, I ain't pulling that no more. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we got fall stuff. You had to go back this week. I showed all of my garden. We got collard greens up knee high. We got cabbages starting to make a head. Man, we got 2 rows, one of mustards and one of turnips. I mean, showing out. Yeah, and really, that's more than I can eat. In fact, I imagine probably gonna pick me some of them turnip greens tomorrow, and I'm gonna have me a big pot of turnip greens and cornbread tomorrow night for supper. Favorite cabbage recipe? I'll tell you about cabbage. When I was a boy, I come in from school one day. My mama had this pot on the stove of steaming, and I had been hoarding my money up all week. I wasn't eating lunch at school because we was going to go out and party that weekend, and I was saving my money up to buy cold beer, so I saved my lunch money. And I was hungry, hadn't eaten all day, come in off the school bus. I popped the lid off that pot on the stove and stuck my head over it. Man, the steam of that boiled cabbage hit me in the face. I ain't eat cabbage for 10 years after that. But I tell you what I did. They talked me into eating it one night. It ain't bad. My taste is changing. But now you get you a cast iron skillet or that Blackstone, and you cut up either some Mosby sausage. It's way better than that Conecuh sausage. Let me say that again. That Mosby sausage way better than that Conecuh. You cut some of it up. You cut it up in small squares. Or either you cut up bacon. Bacon works really good. And you cut that cabbage up in small pieces. Chop it all up good. And you put it in that cast iron skillet with that bacon or that sausage. And you talk about fine eating. Man. That is the best way to cook cabbage. Now, I like boiled cabbage now. I growed up and got over that episode with my mama's pot down there on the stove, and I can eat boiled cabbage now. But that skillet fried, now that Blackstone will do it up too. And I got one of them looks like a dish pan with a handle on the bottom, and you can stick it over on top of that Blackstone over something and steam it a little bit. Make sure it softens it, because if you ain't careful out there on that Blackstone, you put some greens on there, they'll dry out and get crumbly. You know, it'll dehydrate them. But you making egg rolls out of cabbage? Hey, save you a little bit. RN, save you a little bit of that and throw it in a skillet with some bacon and tell me if that ain't the finest thing you ever. And I tell you what'll help it some. If you grease that skillet up with butter before you put that bacon in there, it'll add a little flavor. Oh, Lord. My canned salsa, we get some of them tortilla chips, and I sit there and fill up a bowl, and I just, oh. But now I'll pour it on top of peas. You get peas and cornbread and pour a little salsa on the top of them. Oh, man, y'all making me hungry. And I just had supper a while ago. My daughter cooked tonight. She's experimenting with some Olive Garden recipes. It was delicious. Me and Roscoe both liked it. It's done got him in a food-induced coma over here. Let me show y'all Roscoe. Just he rolled over and looked at me. Look at him. Look at him. You ain't good for anything. He ain't no good for nothing. He ain't worth knocking in the head. So anyway, y'all, oh Lord. Boy, that thing, them legs keep spreading out. It goes to jerking and jumping around. Hey, that's Uncle Sasquatch's buddy right there now. That's who that is. He's got it made. He's living the best life out of any of us here. I'm telling you. He gets to ride every day on that buggy. He eats like a king. He gets to go squirrel hunting when he wants to. And he really gets excited when that man comes up here to read that meter. That's probably why my light bill's so high. He runs out there like he's going to bite his leg off. He's like that dog that Jerry Clower told about. He said, you get out of the house. He said, it ain't the big dog you got to watch out for. He said, it's that little dog. He said, that little dog ain't big enough to do nothing. Said, but he comes running out there, just barking, and said, and he wakes up the big dog, and the big dog comes and bites your leg off. Lord. Yeah, he's right. Mark, I hadn't got a chance to work on any knives. I'm going to tell you right now, I am pouring all of my focus, especially the next few days, into getting this back patio construction done, because hopefully tomorrow I can get I got 4 posts to put up at the back, and I got my beam laying there to go down the top of them. If I can get the post up and braced and that beam set on it, then I got to go and cut all of my rafter poles and peel all of them. And all of that's going to be that's going to take me a while. And it's going to be cold weather. But now, as soon as I get all them peeled and I can put them up and I'll have to order the metal, but I can put all that up soon. But as soon as I get all that done, then I am going to the knife shop, and I'm going to start turning out some knives. I wanted to make several before Christmas. I had actually kind of promised a few people that I would try to get them one for Christmas as Christmas presents they were wanting to give, but I ain't promised nobody nothing yet. Well, I could have if I had all the stuff cut and laid up there, I could put the thing up in a day's time, especially if I had a little bit of help. I put this up today, the beam across the top, it was 27 foot and 3 inches is the outside of the top of my post, and then it's going to stick over 16 inches on either side. I'm going to go 30 foot at the top. So, because it probably won't be precisely 16 inches past that, my post tapered out. I had whatever it was. I can't remember now off the top of my head. So anyway, but all that getting done, I want to get all that up so I can get my firewood stacked up dry right here at the back door for the winter, because we won't really have winter till January. Right around Christmas, it'll get cold and sloppy, and then it'll be wet and sloppy through February. End of February till the 1st of March. And then we'll have another bad cold spell over around April that'll kill all our fruit trees and stuff. Usually have an ice storm somewhere around mid-April, and that, you know, that makes sure we don't have no fruit. So I'll need it, you know, for then. I don't really need it now. It's t-shirt weather down here. One year I shot firecrackers Christmas Eve in a pair of shorts and a tank top shirt. Michigan Prepper, old Roscoe is catching a breeze. Old fan over there is, well, no, the fan's off. Anyway, he knows how. Cal, you ain't gonna never believe where I got that bed. Take a wild guess where I got this bed. You won't never guess. Stump, thank you. I am in East Central Mississippi. We are probably about 20 miles out of Philadelphia. You got yours from M&S Second Store. I built this from scratch. I peeled these posts and sanded them down and took a chainsaw to them. All I needed was one of them lightweight McCullough chainsaws. I have got to buy a bar. I was trying to cut stuff today with my little Husqvarna 435, my little homeowner saw. It ain't the big, I got a big steel, but I was trying to use the little lightweight saw to cut them posts, and I did get all of them cut with it, but when I was trying to notch my longboard, it kept throwing the chain off, so I had to discard it. I have got to buy a bar, I reckon, for it. I don't know. Hour north of Birmingham. Ain't no ham like Birmingham. What old Bill Monroe said. These are stained concrete floors. I've still got stain to, if I wanted, I was thinking about staining my front porch, and I never did. That all these floors need resealing, like the shiny put back on them. I probably didn't put a thick enough coat of it the first time I done it. But we was rushing to get moved in one year about Christmas, I think Christmas of 19. I was going to do a video on the house because I don't have any footage of it, but I have got a lot of pictures of the build in stages, and it was 6 years ago because they've been popping up on my memories this week on Facebook, because we was rushing right now to get stuff in and done this time of year before Christmas. And we moved in the week before Christmas here and had a Christmas celebration party here. Wallace Outdoors and Knife Works. Y'all, and I seen somebody a while ago while I was doing something else, it popped up. I think Tennessee Smokey went over to Moss's Creek Outdoors, the guy that sent me the squirrel call, and he built a Bowie knife out of a saw blade this past week. Done a jam up good job, made a really good video. So if you like knives and knife making, Moss's Creek, if you go back to my squirrel video, I mentioned Moss's Creek squirrel calls. He sent me and Brody some calls. There's a link in there to the channel, but you can look it up. Moss's Creek, Mosses. And he built a knife. Got a channel, makes calls, shows how to make calls and stuff. Hound Jog, I want to go surfing. I have always wanted to surf, but we ain't got no waves around here in Philadelphia, Mississippi to surf on. I was up there on the Tom Bigby River now, and I seen some boys wakeboarding behind a boat. That boat come down the river, it reared up like that, and there's an old boy behind it, don't look like a surfboard. That's about as close as we got. Larry, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us a while. Go get you some shut-eye and go kill old Mucho Grande in the morning. You'll be tagged out. I think he done got 2. In Mississippi, we can shoot 3. And then you can have like 4 or 5 does, I think. I'm going to get my limit this year on does. I don't know about bucks. They hard to come by him, but all them does has been eating my peas up. I'm mad at them this year. That one that's got that little one, she'll probably make it because unless I can shoot both of them, I hate to shoot a little one and I hate to shoot a mama off a little one. So they'll probably make it, but all the rest of them old big does has been eating my peas up. Oh, Sarah, where you at? We hadn't had the chronic wasting down here yet. Oh, I figure it's coming because they have changed some rules and they don't think we need to be shooting does this year, I don't think. So too many. So I don't know. Mark, I have seen it. Mike Reed finds piles of it up in Virginia, rabbit tobacco. So I don't know. You should have it in Illinois, and I can't swear to it, but you should. I'd look into higher elevations. It likes dry, acidic soil, it seems like to me. So look around the pine trees. Yeah, I seen they had it up there around Holmes County, some of them places, Memphis, somewhere up there. I'm trying to figure out, y'all talking about law. Who is in law, Tommy? I missed whoever. Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. Yeah. So y'all have got it up there. So I mailed something the other day to Shenandoah Valley. That must have been you. Sometimes I don't put 2 and 2 together too well. It takes me a few minutes extra. Oh, Orion up north has family in law. I see. I knew I've skipped over whoever was in law. Yeah, law ain't that far down. I go through law pretty regular whenever I'm going to the coast. 45 goes, ain't it 45? No, ain't 45. It's 59. I go through law along. Mark, you're in Illinois. I don't have no medicinal books in here. All of my medicinal books are down in the shed. I got like 6 bookshelves full of books. I for teas, Come here, you gonna show him your suit? Y'all, we got a superhero in the house. Here, don't knock into the camera. Come around over here. They can't see you walling around over there. Y'all, look at him. He has done got his suit on. You're a superhero now, ain't you? Where's your mask?
It's in my room.
He likes a little attention along. Hound jog, I really hadn't even researched into that. I'll tell you what AI, in my opinion, is gonna wind up being what is the beast. I think. I don't know that. That's just an opinion. I have no proof of that at all. It's just scary, really. Yeah, old Tommy, he pumped up, wasn't he? He comes in and steals all the women's hearts and runs off with them. He's a mess. Book for natural plants and teas, though. I would probably start off with the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It's a good book with all the basic information of how to do stuff. Got some good color photos. Down here in my area, there's a book, The Southeast Foraging, and then Southeast Medicinal Plants. Both of those are a good combination for just getting into it in my area. So I would look if there is a Midwest or whatever. Illinois is in the, I don't know what section y'all would be in, but whatever y'all typically call the area, see if there's a book with that in to be whatever area medicinal plants. I would search that and see what comes up. And because the one that we have, the Southeast Medicinal Plants, they're regional books, and I'm assuming they probably made them for every area, I would assume, in the state, or I mean in the country. And they have really good color photos, and they tell about the uses and where to find it. And when you don't know a lot, those color photos are important. A lot of the old books, it's got better information, ain't got good ID for nothing. So from there, you've got to have like your iPhone and Google and all of that to cross-reference and come up with what plants are what, because you want a positive identification, and there's a lot of plants that look similar. And my suggestion to everybody that is first starting to fool with medicinal plants, learn what poisonous plants are in your area first. Learn them and know them. That way you know that, hey, if this plant looks even close to that, I will wait about that till I'm sure and I got better help. And because we know there's a poisonous plant that looks like this. You see what I'm saying? That keeps you from making a fatal mistake. Because after that, you can get the wrong plant and it really ain't going to hurt you. You know what I mean? If you're looking for goldenrod and you happen to pick wild lettuce, no big deal. You know what I mean? But now if you're looking for parsnips and you pick poison hemlock, well, you may not be here long. So that's why, like the mushrooms, I have learned the handful of mushrooms that are really good to eat that I like, and that's really all I know. I know a little bit about several more. I've got books. I have studied a lot of them, but what I have picked and ate, I basically I love my oysters, my chanterelles. I can deal with the puffball. I really didn't like it. The chicken of the woods, I'll pick some and I find them, but It was all right. It wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Now, there's other people that love it, you know. So, you know, it's teach their own. But yeah, the biggest thing is learn what poisonous plants you have in your area and know them. Know them first. That way, after that, you're pretty well safe. And the mushrooms is the same way now. You're going to have a very select few of really poisonous mushrooms that's going to kill you. The worst thing after that is you might get a stomach ache. Well, you know, you learn a valuable lesson with a stomach ache, but you're still around to make another mistake. So find out which things are deadly that grow in your area, Google it, and there'll be a host of pictures come up. I always hit images. Like, I'll type in the plant that I think this is, and I'll hit images, and it'll come up with a whole list of pictures. Well, I'll look at every one of them pictures. Well, if my plant looks like most of all of those pictures, well, I feel pretty good that that's what this is. And you got to look at the stem, the arrangement of the leaves, the shape of the leaf, the serration of the leaf, you know, a lot of different things, but that is the safest way to play it. Because Lord knows, you know, in videos and in pictures and stuff, things just don't look the same, you know. I mean, I have watched a lot of videos, and you see somebody show a plant, and then you go find a plant, well, mine don't really look like this, but that looks, you know. Habitat is another thing. One of the big thing is in the fall of the year when they're flowering is a telltale sign, because, and I would suggest find a foraging group from your area on Facebook. I know a lot of you probably don't do Facebook, maybe, but if you do, look for a foraging group in your area, because what'll happen is with that foraging group is a godsend, because when somebody starts finding stuff, well, everybody in your area, when that plant is producing and are abundant, or those mushrooms are popping out, you'll be like, oh, everybody's finding them right now. Well, you know to go right then and look, because you know they're available and look like this time of the year. They're blooming right now. That's like morel mushrooms. We don't have morel mushrooms here. You've probably got them where you're at. They start just a little north of where I'm at in Mississippi, and they find them from Tennessee all the way up north through the spring, around turkey season. And they're very delicious mushrooms, and they're easy to identify. They look like a honeycomb. They're edible. We don't have them here. I've never found a morel mushroom here. Jason Robertson, how are you? Y'all, we have still got 69 people on here. We have been doing this 127 minutes. Latina Hill Homestead, glad you caught us tonight. We just having a good old time, chit-chatting and showing out and telling tall tales and trying to figure out why a pillow and a rifle ain't a good idea. We ain't figured that out yet. I have never been to Michigan. My sister has been to Michigan. She worked up there for a little while. Actually, they were in a little town in Indiana. Right out of Indianapolis. I can't remember what. Fort Wayne, Indiana is where they were at. And they went up to Michigan. Jason, you finally caught alive. I figured after I got through going an hour, 2 hours every night, I figured everybody had time to find it. I would give y'all more of a heads up that I'm going to be live on Friday night, but I don't never know when I'm on, what's going on. By dinner Friday, I'm like, okay, it's going to work out where I can do one tonight. I enjoy sitting down here. And let me ask y'all this. Would it be better if I started them at 6 instead of 7? it don't really make me no never mind because I pretty well work with the sun. What's time to a hog? So I didn't know if a lot of people got to go to bed, and I stay on here late, and I know y'all on the East Coast, or it's already 10 o'clock. We may shoot for doing 6 o'clock next time. What do y'all think? 7 is your vote? It really don't matter to me. The only thing, we start at 7, I don't know how to shut up. Somebody has to say, hey, that's enough. You gonna have to get off of him. Roscoe, he's already up there asleep, so I ain't bothering him none. Go to work at 3 a.m. or get up at 3. Well, Mark, I'll be honest with you with the boat deal. There ain't enough water around here to float a canoe. Because if there was, I'd have done had that canoe after them white perch down there at the creek. And I'm probably going to go after them one day this week on the bank anyway. I know a hole down there got some slab crappie in there, but that boat is out of the question. I can literally take a pair of rubber boots and wade up and down the creek in most places right now. It's that dry. Oh, now we've had an inch of rain in the last week. That still ain't enough to help us out. The ground has drank every drop. It didn't put none in the creek. So, over in the winter when the water gets up, yeah, we're going to put that boat in the swamp and we're going to ride the river some and just see what we see. It'll get to flood stage and that boat will be the ticket for getting around to some of them places that we can get out and hunt. And so Tommy said it didn't matter when I started, he'd be late anyway. You sound like us trying to get to church. We can start getting ready earlier and something will happen. We'll wind up barely making it. Sarah, you sound like me. I don't plan nothing. And when I have to do something at a certain time. We had plans to take the camper to the Tom Bigby here this fall, and we got so busy with pottery. And I tell you what really knocked us out. I got all these projects like that back patio that I needed to get done, and this, that, and the other. So I really wanted to, and we still may pretty soon take it out. I don't know. We really hadn't talked about it. The thing that's eating our lunch is these pottery orders, y'all. These keels, we have to be here for timing on them. They run our lives. You got to be here to unload it, get it reloaded, and start it cooking again. When it cools down, you got to get the pottery out. And I don't know. You. But yeah, I wanted to take the camper up to Tom Bigby. I really wanted to take some jugs and throw them out in that bayou, but the crappie bite good up there at Tom Bigby, so. Sarah, I heard that there was a lot of wildfires up that way. I very seldom get to watch news or TV or get information. Brody stays, keeps the TV in yonder that's got service on it. And I very seldom watch a weather channel. If I need the weather, I usually just pull it up on my app and see what the 10-day forecast is, and then I run with that. But we finally got enough rain that the surface is damp. But there ain't no water here. Our water table is very, very low. I did check my well the other day. I went down there and pulled water up. This was right before we got all the rain for 2 days that we got. And they was probably 4 or 5 foot of water. Probably 4 foot of water in that well. It is 17 foot deep. Normally, there's 12 or 14 foot of water in it. The water table has dropped 7, 8, 9, 10 foot. At least 10 foot. So, I need to go down. I hadn't checked it to see what the water table has done. Some kind of moth flying around in here. Yeah, Uncle Sasquatch, y'all's fish got them ticks too. Man, I looked up the other day, the boy showed a picture of his pond. Y'all see that thing flying around in here? He showed a picture of his pond. I saw a fish over in the background of his picture and had a canteen. I don't know. And Hound Jog, I seen your question. Email me and send me a picture of what you're talking, because I seen you was asking about your garden. And as far as right now, I'd plant me some cabbage and some collards, or maybe if you got a patch, I'd plant me some turnip greens and be done with that. That's about all that I fool with right now. And a lot of people's growing carrots and stuff, but we never have no luck with carrots. We have planted some. I think we picked a few there, and but I had never had no luck with carrots and such as that stuff over the winter. And that garlic, I got my garlic growing. Wild onion, not wild onion, but my multiplying onions, I got some of them. Now we eat a lot of them. And they're growing and doing well right now. Marty, if you'll put it in there for 5 to 10 seconds, you can scoop it. I've done that. I've done that. You ain't the only one. If it's a good idea, you can bet somebody else has figured it out. I didn't know but what I was the only one that done it though, but I get my leather from Tandy. I don't know that that's the best place to get it. I have seen some other folks talking about Kentucky, I think it was, and somewhere else. What is that other place? There's another popular place that you can get it, but I have ordered mine from Tandy, and Tandy has always done well, and I trust them, and I don't know, you know how it is. When you start giving your card out, I limit who all I'll share my debit card numbers with. Because sometimes that turns south, and I got so much stuff on automatic draft for my bills with it that I hate to get a new card and have to recalibrate all of that mess. Somebody asked about Lloyd Staggs. We decided on the rifle that we was going to shoot this bullet right here. We thinking the twist rate's too great for that round ball. What is the string? I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I bought that big old roll of string at a yard sale or somewhere. I found it. I don't know right where I got that roll. It's a huge roll of string, and it's a little bigger than I really would like, but it works good. And I got a heap of it, so I'll use it. I don't know, Lloyd. I think it's more like a 1 in 48. 1 in 24 is really tight. I don't think it's that tight. I I think it is a 1 in 48 or something like that. We don't really know. I don't know what this one. This is. I made this one out of a Lee mold. Now, I don't know what. Because that is just a chunk of lead. I have to put lube in these grooves. So I think that's like a 300 or 400 grain bullet. I'll have to look on my mold. Let me try these because I have this mold and see what they do. I may go shoot that tomorrow and film it, and it'll be next week before it comes out though, and see what happens. Mark, that'll tickle my buddy over there, Don Lanier Pink. He's proud of that Y branch pack frame, and he's toted it around everywhere. Nikki, you done missed a guitar picking. Y'all drug around and smeared around and just now getting here. We done played guitar. I done butchered one good song and run about 15 people off right like that, and I had to put that up. They wouldn't nobody still be watching if I kept playing it. Oh, good to see y'all tonight, though. Beeswax and olive oil mix for the lube. I got beeswax and skunk fat. That way, if I need to, I can slick my hair over with it while I'm hunting, you know. Lamb tallow. I have got some deer tallow out there in a can, and that stuff is hard, but it's dry. It don't have no. But now I guarantee you, I could mix some oil with it, and it'd probably work good. So I saved it from a deer I killed that was just loaded with fat. I think 2 years ago, and I rendered it into a soup can, big old one of them. I don't know, big can. And it would probably make some, but here's the problem. I mean, I can't use but so much. I got a can and I'm using it. I hadn't. Now, if I start filling these grooves with lube and using that much at a time, things may change. But now this, I'll have to lube all them up and then put them in something. I may do some of that paper patching, but now this is to say that we solved the rifle problem. We probably solved it like this right here. That's a 45-70, and it's loaded with 70 grains of black powder. That'd be my muzzle loader. It ain't a muzzle loader, obviously, but it's my black powder load. I can kill something with it. No, Latina, don't start now. We know you left because I got that guitar out. Don't try to. I'm kidding. I figured I'd run everybody off. You shooting that pistol, yeah, it takes a lot to solve it. Nikki, she's in yonder with Brody. He keeps changing clothes. He done come in here with a Spider-Man suit. Y'all see this thing flying around in here? It's going to get me. I'm going to be done got up and got my fly swatter and chase him around the room. It done got so hot, y'all. It's steaming hot in here. Anyway, she's in there babysitting him. He's wound up destroying the living room. I hear toys dumping every little bit. Sarah, you'll have to share that with them. I know the Choctaw Native Americans here make a lot of hominy. But now the only hominy I have ever made was in a can at the grocery store. So. Yeah, Ed, that thing come flying through him, buzzed me. I mean, you ought to heard it when it come flopping by. Y'all hear his wings a fluttering when he went by? I think I saw teeth on it when it come by. Oh Lord, y'all! I'm gonna have to get raised up here. All right. Yeah, he's in there dumping toe. I hear him in there. He's just going, ah. He's got some little men that's probably fighting tooth and nail over something. He'll save them, though. Don't worry. I tell you what happened to some of them. I was out there working on them posts the other day before it started raining. I was digging them post holes, and he helped me a little bit. I took his picture with the post hole diggers. And he got him. I'll come out there in a minute with a whole bunch of little men. I got to play it in that dirt that I was digging out. And I was filling holes up today, and I found some of them little green army men in there, in that mud out there, and I threw them right off in that post hole, buried them.
No.
No, I threw them in a thing and washed them. What you got here?
A pistol.
Cap pistol.
Cat pistol.
That right there looks just like old Matt Dillon's. You like Matt Dillon?
Yeah, well, can we watch Jerry Crockett when you get
Jerry Crockett?
Yeah, when you get to off that.
Yeah, when I get off of here, we'll watch Jerry Crockett.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
You ain't watched that in a while?
No. When you get to like, can you fast forward?
Come over here and tell them what you want to do.
I want to listen to.
You tell him what you want to do. What you want to do now?
I want to watch Jerry Crockett. But can you fast forward the fight?
Yeah, we can fast forward to the fight probably if we can find it.
Yeah.
You sure it's Jerry Crockett?
Yeah.
It ain't Davy Crockett?
It is Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. I thought so.
It's
What's the
Crockett.
name of the movie?
1, 2, 3, Jerry Crockett. No,
I
three,
think it's the Alamo.
the Alamo.
Yeah. You know who plays Davy Crockett in that movie?
Yeah.
Who? John Wayne.
John Wayne.
John Wayne and Alamo's what he's wanting to watch. Tell them what your favorite movie is.
My favorite movie is.
McClintock.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of that movie?
I like when they ate.
What does Drago say when he shoots that pistol up in that air?
He says, "People, people."
He gets him some attention, don't he?
Yeah, why does he keep saying that?
He was trying to get their attention. You don't like when they fighting up there on that mudslide?
When they get mud,
Yeah.
I like that mudslide. They
Yeah.
get all muddy.
He said, "Great party, Magna. No more whiskey. We go home."
Yeah.
All right. We'll watch Alamo in a little while. He's burnt, y'all. He is burnt. He likes Matt Dillon. He ain't watched nothing lately, though, but some old junk I can't watch. He watched old Park Ranger LB and
sorts of stuff.
some bunch of Legos flopping around doing stuff.
Yeah, like Legos and around.
Well, I have messed up my chat on here.
And Cowboys are my favorite part. And
He
fights.
goes to sleep somewhere around midnight or after.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have,
we terrible parents here. Yeah. he rules the roost. He has rearranged our whole life. Is it about your bedtime?
not right now.
You don't even know what a bedtime is, do you?
The lights are still
He
on.
goes to bed when he wants to. He gets up when he wants to. And gets chocolate milk
For bed.
first thing in the morning like coffee. He eats nothing but candy and tater chips.
Yeah, and I eat meat.
You do eat meat?
Yeah. And
What's your
salads.
favorite meat?
Chicken, deer, peanuts, and I like all the meat.
You like
Fish.
griddle?
Yeah, griddle. And I like catfish.
Catfish.
I like to eat gators. They made it taste like chicken.
You like possum?
No.
You like squirrel?
Yeah.
Well, he has fell out over there, y'all. I think we lost him. He must have got shot by one of them cowboys. Mark, I get up every morning at 6 o'clock sharp, without fail, and come over here and cut the alarm off on my phone and get back to bed. Cause, and then I usually, now most time I'm up before 7. Oh, there's been a few occasions where I was, you know, depending on what was going on when I got in the bed. I told somebody that the other day and they just looked at me like,
I was supposed to call you out on that one.
she's gonna come tell on me. I do. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock sharp and I leave that phone laying over here on this desk and I'm in the bed over there and I say, I'll get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna start getting up early. And I get up and cut that alarm off and crawl right back in that bed. Hey, I'm as sorry as morning hunter. I don't get no morning hunting done because I'm too sorry. I used to get up when I was metal roofing. I was up and gone at daylight every morning. And it was like that until he was born. And he screamed and hollered his first 2 years here with us. His mama never, I don't think she slept a whole night till what? Till he was about 4?
So I still had, I don't think, but I think your boss needs to just crack down on make you start going in at 7.
My boss?
I'd have to divorce my boss is what would have to happen. Oh, Lord, y'all.
I don't think your boss has been strict enough.
My boss?
Yeah, your boss too.
I got a little bit of deer breakfast sausage. I'm going to be honest with you. I may get up in the morning and cook breakfast on the Blackstone because I want to try out my spatula I made. And Brody's over here carrying on.
Hey, put me back in.
Anyway, I'm gonna be honest with Whiskey River catfishing. We ain't done much of any kind of hunting. It's too hot for me to get excited about hunting. I just can't. I hunt for meat. I mean, unless I'm planning on cooking and eating something, most of the people around here, they just trophy hunt. You know, I'm going to kill me a big buck. I'm going to go sit and stand and kill a buck. And I don't have a problem with that. If that's what you like to do it. It ain't what I do. 2 things. I like the experience of being in the woods, and then I like the meat. That's what I'm there for. I go squirrel hunting because I like to eat squirrel. I don't rabbit hunt a lot because I ain't a huge fan of rabbit. And I eat a few rabbits a year. I like rabbit, but it ain't my favorite thing. I love squirrels. I love deer meat. I love crappie, and I love grinnell. And those are the main 4 things that I'm after when I go to the woods. I do like the wild pigs. So whenever I got plenty of meat, ain't just needing meat, I'm working on stuff. But back to the enjoying the experience. If I'm sweating and got to wear long t-shirts to hunt, I don't know. I can't get in the mood of want to be there. I like cold. I like to feel that cold air blowing across the neck of my shirt. I like to put on I don't like to be cold. I like to put on plenty of clothes that I'm warm. I just like it to be cold. A couple of reasons. I want my man of meat. If my biggest problem is if flies start landing on what I'm planning on cooking and eating, I'm done with it. Now, I realize you can wash it, clean it, you know. I know all this. But when them big old blowflies start swarming around while I'm trying to skin something, I'm done with it. That's just me, you know. So if I can't clean it and eat it, I don't feel like shooting it. Cook a wild pig, I like to wrap them up. Well, actually, I don't wrap them. I used to wrap them up in tinfoil, and I'd put them on there and get them started smoking, and I'd open it up and let it smoke for about 45 minutes, an hour, depending. I'd just kind of eyeball it, look at it till it got the color on the outside I wanted, and then I would wrap it up and let it cook about 6 hours at 250. Basted good. I did a video on it here not long ago. But now I have a pan with a lid, you know, them baking pans. I've got one that's smaller that fits on my smoker, and I put them in it with some Dale's and Italian dressing in the bottom, and it's finger licking good that way. I have cut it up and fried it. Like the ribs are good if you divide the ribs up to where you got 2 rib bones, and then you take a hatchet or a saw, preferably, probably, and cut them where they're about that long and fry that. Now that is fine. But probably the smoking it's my favorite thing. I have grilled it. It's all right. We caught some real young ones one time, and I took a skill saw and went right up their back, and I put the whole half of a thing on a barbecue grill, and I just laid it on there. And I got a war going on right here. That's what. Don't pull the cover off the bed. He's wide open into something. Y'all non-stop. And his mama has just come confiscated his gun.
He won't come.
Give me my gun.
He's lost his gun. His mama has took his gun.
Settle down.
Oh, Lord. Anyway. On that Tony season, man, that Tony season is fine stuff. It really is. If y'all could get your hands on that picking and grilling seasoning, you'd take a liking to it too. It ain't hot. It don't have no spice to it at all. It is very good though. And it's local here. These boys that make it live here, so that's why we have an abundance of it. But now they've branched out. It's in several places. I don't know where all they get it. I'm sure they've got a Facebook page. I know you could probably order it from them. But it's picking and grilling sauce. It's fine seasoning. Somebody asked about the trapping. I'm going to trap a little. I've got coyotes back here that I want to go trap. I love to catch coyotes because I try to keep a check on them because I like to hunt the rabbits some. I don't hunt a lot of rabbits, but I like to have them here to where if I want to hunt them, I can. And the coyotes will wipe them out. Not to mention these coyotes come up here and catch my young deer. Which, Brody, settle down. The coyotes come up here and start catching the young deer. Well, my problem right now with trapping is it ain't cold enough here for the fur not to slip unless I can skin it immediately. Well, I've got so much stuff going on. If I go check traps in the morning, there's a good chance that I got something going on. And I told this earlier, I had a buddy of mine call me the other night. I was at a funeral, or at the funeral at the church. We were having the wake at the church. And somebody come call me and said, I got a fox I shot. And they gave it to I skinned it. But they brought it, throwed it in the back of my truck. Well, I got home and just throwed it over in the freezer. Well, I thawed it out 2 days later and skinned it. My problem is being able to process the fur. Uncle Sasquatch, we'll see you. We're not going to be on here no long time. We fixing to shut it down anyway. Thank you for hanging out with us. I have thought about raising rabbits, but it's just more trouble than it's worth. I have lost my channel. Alright, that's enough. You done had too much candy or something, ain't you? Don't shoot them people. They ain't done you no wrong. All right. We're gonna have to get him. Hey, settle down. You knocking into the camera. If you do all that, they'll be done left and gone. You gonna settle down? That's enough. Settle down. Mama, you gonna have to come get him. He won't behave. Get in yonder. Brody. 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 Look at me. Get in yonder. What am I gonna do with him, y'all? Lord, Lord. No, we out of Halloween candy. We hid most of it, and I ate the rest. Most of the rest. I had some help, I think. He's fired up with that gun, though. He's on one tonight. Anyway, y'all, I have had a good time. I'm fixing to have to get off of here. I've got a catch under my elbow from laid back in that chair too long. Come in. He wants to be on camera, too. Come on, get up here. Oh! All right. So, anyway, Roscoe, you going to tell them all goodbye? Yeah. We're going to have to disarm him. Here he comes back. So, anyway, y'all, we're going to have to shut it down. We're going to have to get this bunch wrangled up. Quit. Don't start touching stuff. You'll be cut it off before I'm ready. Boy, boy, boy. Y'all got a bell thing bar. I ain't got one around here that works, apparently. Don't tear that down. All right, look, come here. Let me get him wrangled. Let's get him disarmed. You've lost your gun. Roscoe's got the gun now. We got him in a barricade. Tell him good night. Tell him we'll see y'all next time.
Boo, boo.
He can't talk. He's so wound up. Quit kicking. Hey, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see y'all next time. Remember, the best way to do things
It's the way I like to do it.
is what?
It's the way I like to do it.
That's right. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.